right, so we're going to start with our red curry sauce. And the first item is some chopped tomato. And I'm going to show you how we get the seeds out of the tomato. Just a quick little tip. So this is a tomato I just cut in half, and then we're going to take it, cut it in quarters, and then just take our knife and just very easily just follow that skin around and take our seeds out. Right? I'll do that one more time. So we have them, we have our tomato, and just kind of, you want to just almost like a little sawing motion with your knife, roll it a little bit, and take the seeds out. Right? And then we're going to take them and just do a quick rough chop, because these are going to go in the blender, so I'm not too concerned about the size. Right? So we have 2 tomatoes that we seeded and just very roughly chopped. We'll add those into the blender. We have a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. We have a 1/4 cup of some chipotle peppers. And at this point, if you didn't want to have your sauce spicy, you can omit the jalapenos entirely. If you wanted it to be a little bit more spicy, you can add as many jalapenos as you'd like. And then we have 2 shallots that I, again, just roughly chopped. And those are 2 large shallots. I have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. This is 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. And what the cornstarch is going to do is going to help thicken the sauce up slightly after we saute the beef with the vegetables. And then we're going to do 1 teaspoon, and these are whole cumin seeds. Right, so add some of those in. And then we're going to do 1 tablespoon, and I'm just doing a pretty loosely packed tablespoon of ginger. Right, so we have all the ingredients in our blender, and now what we're going to do is just blend it all together. And there you go. We're going to take our sauce, and just put that into a container. Take your spoon, right? And then I'm also going to add a few tablespoons of fish sauce. There's just 1, let's do 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. There we go. Fantastic. And the fish sauce is going to add a little bit of that briny flavor, a little saltiness. So within this sauce, we have some sweetness, we have some spicy from our chipotle peppers, and then the fish sauce just adds a little bit of salt to it, and it just all balances out really well. So our sauce, we're just going to kind of put it off to the side and move on to the next step. So now what we're going to do, we're going to start preparing our beef for the dish. And what I did is I used a ribeye, and then just cut the ribeye into some smaller pieces, almost like, you know, like a quick stir fry, right? Just all random, no real size. Just put it all together. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a few tablespoons. Let's just say 1, 2, maybe a good 3 tablespoons of that red curry sauce that we made, right? And we're just going to toss that beef in there and just kind of let it chill out in that sauce, and the beef will absorb some of that red curry sauce, right? And that's it. So we're going to let that just chill out for a little bit. We're going to put some of our sauce off to the side, and we're going to move into the next step, right? And this is going to be our jicama slaw. Right, so the jicama, I took it, I peeled it, and then just cut it in half. And I want to show you, this is just a simple little mandolin, and I'll put the link for this mandolin in the description. But I think it's a must to have in your kitchen arsenal. It's so versatile, you can do so many things on there. So I have it set on the largest setting, and what we're going to do is we're going to take our jicama and just take it down, right? And just get some uniform pieces. Then I just like to trim the edges off a little bit, and then just get some really nice thin little pieces of the jicama. Right? Perfect. Throw those in. Right? And I went ahead and I cut some up earlier. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to take our jicama and we're going to mix it in with some green onion or scallion. Right? So we'll take, this is about half of a jicama that I just cut into little julienne or little batons. Right? And that's going to be plenty. And then just some chopped cilantro. Very nice. And then I have a little bit of rice wine vinegar. Right, so we're going to add, I'm going to say a good, let's say 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. Let's do 3. Right, so 3 tablespoons rice wine vinegar. A little bit of sesame oil. I absolutely love sesame oil. So we'll add, that's a good teaspoon. And then probably the same amount, another teaspoon of soy sauce. Right, final ingredient. This is just a little bit of oil. Right, and then we're just going to take that and just toss that all together. Just a really quick, simple little salad, and this is going to accompany our fajitas very nicely. Right, there we go. That goes off to the side. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to start with our beef. So I got a wok that I preheated. I have the flame on medium high, and what we're going to do is we're just going to take a little bit of oil. And what's important is we want to make sure that when we get the oil, we move it around the pan. And you want to see that smoke, because you want to really sear this beef when it hits the pan. Right? So we're going to take the beef that we marinated in our red curry sauce and just add that in. And that's what you want to hear. You definitely want to hear that nice little sizzle. Right? And you just want to get it to where it's all coating the bottom of the pan. Right? And I'm going to put a little bit of salt. Right? And you see it starts to brown in color because we do have a little bit of brown sugar in there. And just keep moving this around. And this ribeye is so tender that it's just going to make some killer fajitas. Right? Keep moving those around a little bit. And always keep your, I put the heat up a little bit because we want to make sure that we keep a high heat when we're sauteing this beef. Right? And we don't need to go too long with it. I mean, it's pretty darn close. Right? And what we're going to do now is we're just going to take our beef and move it off to the side. Right? Same pan, keep the heat up. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to very quickly wipe out the pan. Right? We'll put a little bit more oil in. And for our vegetables, what I have today is 1 large green pepper that I just cut into a julienne or just cut into some strips, and 1 large red onion that I did the same thing, just cut it into some strips. Whenever I'm stir frying or doing any kind of an Asian inspired dish, I like to start with a little what I call GGS, garlic, ginger, and scallions. Right, so we have I have the ginger and the garlic mixed together, and we'll do about, a nice healthy tablespoon. We'll add that in, as well as some of the scallions or green onions, and just move that around very quickly. And if you need a little bit more oil, no problem, just add a little bit more in. You want to continue to hear that sizzle. Right, and then we're going to take our green peppers Move those around. Our red onions. Very nice. And I'm going to put a touch of salt. There we go. It's looking very nice. Keep sauteing our veg. And whenever you stop hearing that sizzle, not a problem. Just add a little bit more oil until it comes back. There you go. That's what you want. Okay, we're sauteing our veg. What we want to do, we're going to add our beef and all those juices back in. Very nice. Look how beautiful that looks. And if you lose an onion, get it back in there. Oh, it smells absolutely amazing. All right, so we're going to let that go. And then we want to take some of our red curry sauce, and we're going to add, and this is really up to you as to how much you want. I really love spicy food. My wife is kind of on the side of not so spicy. So there we go. We're going to just keep moving that around. Let all of those flavors start blending together. Right? And that is looking fantastic. Right? And I think that is done. And what we're going to do to finish is we're going to add a little bit of chopped cilantro. And that's probably a good, I don't know, 3 tablespoons or so. And just keep moving that around. And that right there is done. We're going to take it and we're going to finish up the final presentation. All right, moving into the final step of our recipe today. So I'm going to just take an avocado, and what I've done is I've just split the avocado in half, and then just take your knife and very quickly just get the little nut out of it. And then if you get a spoon, very simple, to just follow the avocado around, right? Flip it over. The skin is all off. Take that little piece off. Beautiful. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to slice these pretty thin. I absolutely love avocado. I think in a dish like this, it just adds a really nice texture. Right? So what we're going to do is we're going to start to assemble our fajitas. And what I did, I just have some white corn tortillas that I just very quickly heated up on the griddle. You can do it directly on your gas flame, you know, maybe 5-10 seconds each side, flip them over, and that's what we have here. So to assemble the fajitas, we're going to take some of that red curry sauce that we made, put a little bit on the bottom, and again, you can put as much as you like. I'm just doing one little line of the sauce on the bottom. Beautiful. We'll take a few of our avocados and just kind of lay those in very, very nicely. That looks beautiful. All right, take some of the avocado, move these off to the side, and then we'll take some of our fajita, some of our ribeye with those peppers and the garlic and the ginger. Right, again, you just add as much as you like. I think that's a nice hefty little fajita there. Right, we'll take a little bit, add that in. Right, I'm gonna add another piece of beef on this one because there we go. And then we're gonna finish it off with a little bit of our jicama slaw. And I like this because it just adds a little bit of freshness to it, adds a little bite, you know, to kind of balance out some of the heat from the red curry sauce. Right, at this point, you know, you add as much as you like. And there you go. I mean, that is nice and simple and It's going to be absolutely delicious. And if you didn't want to put it into a fajita, you could also take the same beef and pepper mixture, serve it over some rice. Maybe toss it in with some noodles. Take a little bit of that red curry sauce with a little bit of water or maybe some vegetable stock and toss the noodles in with the beef. You could also stick with that same kind of Mexican theme and roll it into a burrito. So there's a lot of different options with one dish. And that's what I love about this. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.